Assalamu alaikum, dear students. I hope you all are fine. I am Ma'am Iram Iqbal from English Department APS 4 through Rawalpindi. This is our fourth week of online support program, and today we are going to study our second lesson, that is patriotism. Before we start with the lesson, let us see what our objectives are. Students, you will be able to understand the meaning of patriotism, enhance the feeling of patriotism, comprehend the basic theme, identify the kinds of sentences and their uses, and write the answers to the questions. Patriotism or national pride is the feeling of love, devotion, and sense of attachment to a homeland or motherland. Patriotism is derived from a Latin word patriota, which means countryman. Sacrifice and love are the commendable qualities of a patriot. He always thinks for his own country. It encourages people to stand united and fight for the safeguard of the country. Sovereignty, integrity, and honor of the country are of supreme values for him. He is prepared to defend his country against all enemies. It is a life spirit that guides, motivates, and encourages him. The abiding purpose of every patriot is to secure more power and more prestige, not for himself, but for the nation. Everything that celebrates your country or makes it stronger is a great display of patriotism. Whenever a country is at war, people are more vocal about their patriotism, playing patriotic songs and making speeches full of national pride. It's the immense pride you feel for a country that allows you the freedom to develop your skills, no matter your station in life. It's the pride that warms your heart and makes men and women risk all to protect that way of life for their children and grandchildren to come. Now let's see who is a great patriot. We could see many great patriots in the history, but one of them is Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah. Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah was a great patriot. He led the Muslims of the subcontinent to have a separate homeland. He himself wanted to protect the values, culture, and traditions of the Muslims of the subcontinent. He worked day and night for the progress and prosperity of the country. He did not care for his own health. His concern was only and only his beloved homeland, Pakistan. It is only because of his efforts that we are living freely and happily in Pakistan. He vigorously supported his country. Quaid's quote: "We must develop a sense of patriotism which galvanizes us all into one united and strong nation." According to Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah's quote, we must develop intense passion of patriotism in us, as this passion will make us a united and strong nation. Now let's see, students, which is the highest military award of Pakistan. Nishan-e-Haider is the highest military award of Pakistan. Nishan-e-Haider literally means emblem of the lion in the Urdu language. It can only be awarded to the members of the Pakistan Armed Forces for the highest acts of extraordinary bravery in the face of the enemy in air, land, or sea. You can see the badge here. This award is given as a token of appreciation to all those who embraced martyrdom to show patriotism. Recipients of Nishan-e-Haider. Here we have the names of all those people who received this award. Major Aziz Bhatti, Pilot Officer Rashid Minhas, Major Chaudhry Tufail Muhammad, Major Shabir Sharif, Naik Saif Ali Janjua, Captain Raja Muhammad Sarwar, Major Muhammad Akram, Sawar Muhammad Hussain Janjua, Lance Naik Muhammad Mehfooz, Captain Colonel Sher Khan, and Havaldar Lalak Jan. These were the great people who showed patriotism. They had so much love for their country that they happily sacrificed their lives for their country. Now let's see what are the duties of a patriot. A patriot must be ready to sacrifice his everything for the sake of his country. He should have firm and deep faith in the welfare of his country. He is law abiding and he helps the authorities in this regard. He keeps his surroundings clean and beautiful. A patriot must respect the cultural heritage, the heroes, the prophets, the sages, and saints of his country. He must keep in mind the future of his country. He must be ready for the defense of the frontiers of his country. He must leave no stone unturned for the prosperity and integrity of his motherland. Words of S.W. Scott. Scott was a great poet. He also expresses his thoughts of patriotism in his poem. According to him, the man who has no feelings for his homeland is dead from inside. So people should have deep love for their country. Dear students, now let's see what is your first task. Your first task is to read the lesson thoroughly. I've explained the lesson to you. Now you are going to read it properly to understand it better. The second task is that find contextual meanings of difficult words. Task number 2. Write relevant answers to the questions. You are going to write the answers to the questions on loose sheets. And the questions are on page number 15. Task number 3. Vocabulary, page 16. Words meanings. Making new words with root words. For example, if the word is create, this is going to be the root word. You're going to write down like creation. So in the same way, the words are given in your book. Next is word sentences. Now let's see the translation. In translation, we are going to study 3 lessons. Lesson 1, Lesson 2 and Lesson 3. Lesson 1 is about the use of it and there, that is on page 69. Lesson 2, use of is, am, are, was and were, that is on page 70, 71. And third lesson, use of has, have and had on page 72 and 73. That is in your grammar book. Lesson 1, use of there. It and there are dummy subjects. When we do not have any subject in a sentence, we have it and there. We use there to talk about where or when something is. For example, there is an interesting book on the shelf. A number or amount. There is plenty of bread left. There were 20 people at the meeting. And the last one is something existing or happening. Example, there's a small problem. There was a nasty fight. Now let's see what is the use of it. We use it to talk about times and dates. It's nearly 1 o'clock, and the second example is it's my birthday. We use it when we talk about the weather. For example, it's raining or it's a lovely day. We use it with the verb be and an ing form or to infinitive to express opinions. For example, it's nice to meet you. It's great living here. Now students, here I have taken some of the sentences from your book. I have translated that into English. उर्दू सेंटेंस, आज बहुत गर्मी है. It is very hot today. मेज़ पर कोई किताब नहीं है. There is no book on the table. हॉल में कितने उम्मीदवार थे. How many candidates were there in the hall? Second lesson. Is, am, are, was and were. Is, am and are the primary auxiliaries. Is, am and are used in present tense. Was and were in the past tense. Now let's see the subject verb agreement. Is and am is written with singular subjects. For example, he, she, it or I. And are we use with the plurals. For example, they are, Sarah and Ali are, etc. Was in past tense. It is used with again single subjects. For example, he was, Ali was or Sarah was. And were with the plurals. For example, the boys were playing or the girls were cutting the vegetables. Now again, for this lesson also, I have taken a few examples from your grammar book. मैं पाकिस्तानी लड़का हूँ. I am a Pakistani boy. वो एक बहादुर सिपाही है. He is a brave soldier. क्या पानी गर्म है? Is the water hot? You can see in present tense, the last words are going to tell you that it is the present tense, हूँ or है. And in past tense, था, थी or थे. Lesson 3. Has, have and had. We use has and have in present perfect tense. And when we want to show possession, has is used with a single subject. For example, he has or she has. Have is used with plurals. For example, they have or the girls have. We use had in past perfect. And had is used with both singular or plural subjects. Again students, I have taken 3 examples from your grammar book. उसके पास चाकू है. He has a knife. मुसाफिरों के पास सामान नहीं है. The passengers have no luggage. क्या बादशाह के सर पर ताज था? Had the king a crown on his head? I hope you all have understood lesson 1, 2 and 3. Now let's see what is your 4th task related to translation. Use of is, am, are, was, were, has, have and had. They are written in English Grammar and Composition book pages 70-71. Students, you should consult the book and understand the appropriate use of primary auxiliaries. Learn about subject-verb agreement for the use of primary auxiliaries. Orally practice translation from Urdu to English by using given auxiliaries. And for written work, you are going to write 10 sentences from the exercises on loose sheets. Success criteria. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to look after the interest and progress of the country, have a deep passion and love for your country. I wish you good luck. Thank you.